Damn. Well, Joe would have slept 15 hours and then still wouldn't have been up in time for trick or treating. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Junkyard? I just had me a couple of nutty Dunker sticks. Dunkin' sticks. Bill Knapp's. Let's see. Any day now. Um, King Charles strips brother away from his royal titles. Huh. Good at hitting the veins? I bet they are. Oh, I said that already. Damn. And you're through. Didn't even know it, huh? Was she really Amish or was she Mennonite? Or not Mennonite, what do they kind of what the hell they call them that religion out there where they think they can have 5 or 6 wives? Hell, I can't remember. Mormon. There, Mormon. I knew I'd figure it out once I put my mind to it. There are a lot of Mormons out that way. So, what'd you guys do today? I didn't do a lot today. Mainly sat around the house and looked pretty. Hell, everybody knows I can do that. Yeah, they just have, yeah, they just they just haven't met each other. That's right. Yeah. I had to go to the grocery store, pick up some tomatoes and some hot sauce, and what else did I pick up? Some sour cream. Picked up a loaf of wholesome bread, a loaf of hearty rye, and then a package of 8 hamburger buns. And let's see. And then I picked up my flash food. There was some donut sticks, Dunkin' Donut sticks, cream cake, pumpkin flavored, and then cinnamon rolls, cinnamon Danish. I know. You know, I don't think anybody ever even thought about that until Joan Rivers said that when they said, when do you think we're going to have the first gay president? Said, we already got one. He's in the office now. And his wife's a tranny. Then everybody started looking at Michelle like, hey, it does look like a man. Yeah. And then Joan Rivers goes in for an operation a few days later. Common operation, simple operation, non-life-threatening operation. And she doesn't make it. Come keep her company Saturday? Yeah. Why, is it going to be lonely there at Walmart? Nobody's got any money to spend? That's probably what it's going to be like. It's going to be like a ghost town at all the grocery stores. Or there'll be a bunch of people getting robbed coming out of the grocery stores, with carts full of food. They'll be getting robbed, No, I did not see that. There is hope. A lot of people said she'd make a good president. Yeah, I want to know who those lot of people are, which one it is, and how long they spent in the mental institution before they told her that. Oh yeah, they'll just use all them excuses. They'll tear up everything. They'll rip They'll steal your cart full of food that you paid for when you're walking out of the store. And then they'll be in the store stealing. I think you got to put a couple of them down, just like rabid dogs. Then they'll stop doing that stuff. Because if they steal your cart full of food, they're going to want your money too, whatever money you have left. I know, so they can eat. Maybe I had to get mine. Me and Junkyard, because we's both Po. We's Po. We so Po, we can't afford the OR on the end of poor. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Black Lives Matter is gonna help them out, all right. Yeah. They ain't never helped a single black person yet, other than themselves. I don't know, they received like $30 million or something like that. And spend it all on stuff for themselves and never spent a nickel towards anybody else. Oh yeah, that probably will happen. They'll be walking around with sacks Saturday morning instead of trick or treat. It'll be trick or feed me. Trick or feed me. Yeah. Right, you got to put the beans on. Tonight was leftovers. Kathy and I, we had chicken tacos, and she had a chicken nacho. I had a chicken taco, or tacos. That's the thing. It's only me and her here, and then our son when he's not working. Um, the grandkids, most of the time, they eat at their mom and dad's house, and then they come here, spend the night, and go to school. Unless they're got to be here 2 or 3 days in a row, and then they stay here. But Kathy's been so used to making big meals that everything's big. Make a big roaster full of, boiled dinner. Make a big pot full of chili. And that's right. Put some hog fat in them. I got bacon grease in the refrigerator. I take a big scoop of that and throw it in there. after I got off in here this morning, the girl, she, I don't know, she went, after all the kids left, she was really lonely. She was walking around the house meowing, meow, 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 looking at Kathy and meowing at her, and you can tell she miss, she don't really like to play with them, but she misses them when they're not here. Make tater chips. There you go. I bought tater chips from I left them here on the counter. I didn't put them up. But they are Great Lakes Potato Chip Company. And this is Michigan Cherry Barbecue. These are made up in Traverse City. Never had them before. And we went up to Traverse City to her brother's house. And he was doing something. He had some of them potato chips. He said, "Here, try these. You ever had them?" I said, "No." And I like them. Kathy didn't like them, but I did. They have, I don't know, 4 or 5 different kinds up there at my areas at the Great Lakes. Like honey mustard, and I don't know what else they have, but I know the cherry barbecue is the one I had, and I thought that was pretty good. Oh, yeah? Good tennis shoes, you old snuggle bunny, you. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, especially Sam's Cola. There you go. Yeah. No more of that Pepsi and Coke products for you. Yeah. Get a haircut and get a real job. Well, you know, like a lot of these people, they think that we owe it to them. We owe it to them to feed them and pay their bills and stuff so they can live high off the hog for nothing. We owe it to them. I seen today where about 47% of the how can I put it? 47% of the abuse of food stamps is done by illegal aliens. 47% of illegal aliens. So at least 53% of American citizens are abusing that abuse food stamps, and 47% of them are illegal aliens. Now, if there's only 20 million people here in this country that are illegal aliens, they say there's 43 million people on food stamps. So that damn near be all 20 million of them. Huh? Huh. So anybody got plans for the weekend? Healthcare is the same way, you're right. Well, you know, instead of going to an urgent care or something like that for a splinter that they can't get out, they go to the hospital and, you know, the emergency room, $500 there, and then the emergency care, and, you know, $150 for the bed and $350 to use the toilet and all that other stuff. By the time they're out of there, it costs the American citizen or taxpayer $17,000 for a splinter. Well, that's cool. How many times she been married? 7, 8, 9, 10? I remember years ago, Kathy used to get so pissed when I would introduce her as my first wife. I took me a nappy today for about an hour and a half. It really wasn't that good of a nap, but I did get a little bit of rest. Then we ate dinner like at 4:45. Now my clock is all screwed up. Now I'm tired. I want to go to bed, but if I do, I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yeah? I never do. And a bottle of ski. Well, there ain't no auctions I'm going to go to this weekend. There was an auction yesterday, but I didn't go to it. Um, there's some internet auctions, but I looked at them and none of them tickled my fancy anyway. Or fancied my tickle. I don't know what to talk about. Guys, what do you want to talk about? Talk about food stamp fiasco. The city of Adrian, the government posted where people could get free food. I thought to myself, well, why don't the city of Adrian government put the blame where it's supposed to be? They didn't. So in the comment section, I said, hey, call your local neighborhood, Democrat senator and complain. They're the reason why your food stamps ain't coming. That's right. Top dollar paid for food stamps. I haven't been to an auction either in a long time. I probably couldn't tell you exactly how the workings goes with one of them. If you stray, they won't go away. That's right. Damn. They practically paid you to take it out of there, didn't they? Well, the other day I was at Myers and they had shredded cheese, 3 bags for $6. So I took it in, or I went to the register, and when I got my register receipt, it said $2.69, $2.69, $2.69. So I overpaid 69 cents 3 times. Roughly $1.77 for those keeping track. So I went to customer service. I had to go there anyways. And I said, hey, they overcharged me because it says 3 for $6 and they charged me regular price for it. So he looked at my receipt and he took my merchandise and he rescanned it and he punched it in the computer and he said, yep, you're right. They did overcharge you. Here you go. Here's your cheese. Here's your receipt. Here's $9.74 for showing us that we made a mistake. So they paid me $3.74 to take that cheese out of there. Now that's fine. That's good fiscal responsibility there. Because you're a good buyer. Yeah. That's right. My mom, when she'd go to the store, she could go to the store and go couponing, and she'd walk in that store and she'd buy $300 worth of stuff and come out paying $8. But back then, $300 worth of stuff was a lot. I mean, it was like 5 shopping carts full of stuff. She'd usually get, the stuff that didn't had a long shelf date on it or didn't expire, like shampoo and soap, laundry soap, conditioner, and stuff like that, and canned goods. Huh. $84.99. Damn. Oh, let's see. I was at on Amazon and they had the 1 penny haul. I got 500 7.5 amp standard car fuses for a penny. 12 volt, 24 volt, and 32 volt blades on them. I got a power switch, 10-way power seat switch for the driver's side of my Ford Edge. I got that for a penny. 500 35 amp standard car fuses for a penny. 5 530 amp standard car fuses for a penny. And then I got a coil for a Briggs & Stratton 6-horse for $1, and a Penn trailer wire tester for $1. Then I bought a couple of switches because you had to have $20 worth of sales in order to get free shipping. So I bought a couple of switches, and that put me up to $20. And then with my discounts, it come in at $18.50, and I still got the shipping free. Oh, I understand that. Well, I didn't think anything about the switch. I bought 2 of them actually for $1 a piece, or a penny a piece. No, $1, excuse me, $1 a piece. I bought them for $1 a piece. My switch on the Ford Edge, every function works except for to raise it up in the back. That function does not work. So I'm going to try the new switch. If that works, and I'm golden for $1. I bought 2 because in case, it works and it's like the old one, peters out, I'll have another one. And where else are you going to buy another part for $1? So. And I got 2 forward and reverse momentary switches. You push it and you hold it, and you let it off, and it springs back. So I got 2 of them. And that was cheap enough. So. Anyway, you go to Amazon, you go on their homepage and you look down, it'll say deals. Click on that, and they have a bunch of stuff for a penny. You only can get 3 items for a penny, but then you got to spend $20 or $19.97 to get free shipping. Even though you have Prime, you still have to get $20 to get free shipping. Which, you can look around there and find $20 worth of stuff easy. That's right. Buy one, get another one half off. Not that I'll never need 500 fuses, but, anybody else might. And for a penny, it really don't matter. I'm out 3 cents if I never use any of them. Now, the electric carts I got, they all use 50 amp fuses. So anybody that uses a hover round or any other kind, they have a 50 amp fuse on them. December 7th. Call now. I can guarantee you're still going to see commercials on the 15th of December. Oh, we got a way to backdate it. My health insurance called me today. They wanted to know when I was going to they wanted to know when I was going to do this. You know, warning, sample must be returned in this box. Yeah. I don't know how they want me to take a dump in that box, but I'll try. Read the instructions. You just had one? Yeah. Treadmill. I don't have a treadmill. Pack it full. There you go. I want you to take your own blood. Yeah. Pow! Ah. I got a huh. Ah. You see a doctor for that? I'm ready for the time change too. Now you're costing that poor insurance company more money. Yeah. How do you feel about that, Dale? You're gonna make them poor insurance company go bankrupt, means that they have to actually pay something for you. Insurance is the biggest scam there is ever perpetuated on the human race. I know, so you hit the hay at 7, that's right. I know. So do I. I don't even go. It used to be I was at the doctor's, and you guys can remember this, but I was at the doctor's every other day or something like that for the longest time. Always getting blood tests, always going to the hospital, always going to the doctor, going to this doctor, that doctor, this doctor, this doctor, that doctor, this specialist. And finally, I told Kathy I had enough. I'm done. I'm tired of going and living my day, my life, just so I can go to the doctors to please the insurance company. I needed help with that test. That's right. Oh. Anyways, I'm supposed to go see my rheumatoid arthritis doctor here shortly again. Sometime in November, I believe. He put me on this medication, and of course, my insurance wouldn't pay for it. So they wouldn't pay for the medication. So the pharmacy called and they said, hey, we can get you into a program. And maybe we can get somebody or some company to pay for it. Well, I already did that once for Rovex. And I had to go to the Social Security, get an off letter there, tell them how much money I made. Had to get one from my retirement plan, tell them how much money I made there. Had to get one for everybody that lived in the house and see how much money they made. And then I had to have a utility bill for the electric, a gas bill, the water bill, and all this other stuff to show what my expenses were. And then insurance and car payments. I just figured it wasn't worth it this time. I'll go back to the rheumatologist and I'll tell them, get me something that my insurance will pay for. Because after all, it's all about them. Yeah, by the time you get it's all done, you don't need it. Yeah. So, and this is the thing about it. They only pay it for like 3 months. And then you got to go back in and reapply. All right. Well, then after 3 months, it's the same way with Rovex. I went there after 3 months and filled it all out, and I got denied because they'd already filled out a 3-month prescription for me. Well, what good's a 3-month prescription if you can't keep it going? You know, you can't afford it. It was almost $1,800 a month just for my copay on this insurance they want for my arthritis. The Rovex was $1,600 or something like that a month. Yeah, that's probably what they want. They want you to kick the can. And with the Rovex, I've never had kidney stones in my entire life. I started taking that Rovex and I started getting kidney stones. That's when all my kidney stuff started happening. We had a doctor at the hospital said, well, Robex does not give you kidney stones. I said, I beg to differ with you because I got the packages at home that it come in, and it says the box it came in, after I took the bottle out of it, I flanked it down and kept it in my dresser because it has the side effects on it. And kidney stones is one of it. Kidney failure, kidney stones, bleeding from the kidney. Yeah. The side effects is worse than what the original ailment is. I know there's a medicine for that too. Yeah. We take this Robex, and when you get kidney stones, you don't need a kidney put off. Yeah. It'll dissolve that kidney so you won't have kidney stones no more. Isn't that a miracle? Yeah. I'm actually surprised. My gallbladder is full of stones. Full of stones. That's what they told me when they did that the last time I was hospitalized. They said, your gallbladder is full of stones. Okay. Well, why don't we take it out then? Because that's an elective surgery then, and your insurance won't cover it. We got to wait for it to get bad so, we can take it out. Oh, that's nice of you. Let's wait till it ruptures and it kills me, and then you'll be able to take it out. You guy in there with a, pair of tweezers picking out marbles. Man, look at all these marbles. Oh, look at there, Steely. Yeah. Cat's eye. That's where marbles come from. That's right. What, my head? Toboggan? Yeah, where'd that come from? You're right. Yeah. What toboggan are you talking about? Tennis shoes? Oh, my hat? They're pretty much standard up here. This is actually, I think, from TSC. The only reason why I'm wearing it is because my head's cold. I don't know why they even installed it. I'm on the Asian bobsled team. That's right. Yeah. This thing's nice and thick and warm too. I actually have another one in a box with a bunch of winter clothes that I don't use no more, but it's probably twice as thick as this one. That's when I used to work outside all day. Had a Carhartt winter coat, winter gloves, and this hat, a thick hat, and two pairs of socks on and my work boots, and I'm generally comfortable all day. Your legs would get a little chilly, but if it was going to be extremely cold, you wear long johns. I was my first year in the garbage business over here. I'd been there probably 3 or 4 weeks, and it dropped to about 40 below zero. We had temperatures like 40 below zero for like 3 days, and it was so cold. And then you get on the back of the truck as you're driving, and you'd get down 60, 70 below zero. Hold on to that. We had routes that would take you 10, 12 hours to do on a normal day. Took 3 or 4 days to do because you couldn't stay out on the truck. It was so damn cold. Half the time the trucks wouldn't start. You get them running. Once you got them running, you didn't shut them off. We had trucks that stayed running for 4 days after they got them started. I don't sleep in. I'm up at 5:30 every morning, Monday through Sunday. Yeah, they say doors and windshield. Yeah. I'll tell you what's funny. I realize it's time to go. Years ago, Ricky Bates, he had a cab over Mack side loader. And he was out running the route with it. And somehow both his windshields got broke. So they come in that night and they put in new windshields. I think what happened is a car spit up some rocks or something and shattered his windshields. So they put up new windshields. And Ricky's out there and he's by the garage, front of the garage. He pulls the truck up to the front of the garage, shuts it off, goes in, grabs the line for the oil. You're gonna put some oil in it, some hydraulic fluid. Well, in order to put oil in it, he had to tip the cab. So Ricky goes over there and he starts jacking the cab up, and he gets the cab about 3/4 of the way over, and all of a sudden he hears this. He walks out front, and there's 2 windshields laying on the ground. The guy that put the windshields in didn't put the keepers in. The rubber bead that holds in the seal. There's a little slot that it fits in, and there's a rubber track that fits in there, and they put it in there. He didn't put the rubber track back in. The windshield just fell right out onto the ground. Needless to say, they were less than happy with that. I know, they do. All right, everybody, it's time for me to get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care. Prayers and peace. And I will see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard if you're so inclined to join me. Have yourself a blessed night and a good weekend. Take care, everybody.